Hi everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name's Indigo.
And I'm Krug.
And today we're going to be talking and reviewing this beautiful, beautiful TV.
That's enough.
Alright, so about 5 months ago, back in October, Krug and myself were talking about how we wanted to improve the space and make it a better streaming location because our previous setting, which photos here, wasn't the best.
No, it was kind of messy, not optimized for people on camera specifically.
Yeah, and so we were like, all right, well, we got to take a step and we got to do something.
Yeah.
So we went out, we searched around. I had actually been on the Saving Throw set.
Yes.
Wait, what? Eddie.
You fools! You've fallen into my trap. And saw that they had a table from Carolina Game, which they have a specific model called the streaming table.
Yeah.
And I went and searched, and I couldn't remember the name of the company.
Right.
And I searched and searched. I was like, streaming table, hexagon table,
Twitch table.
Yeah, like, and finally, I emailed one company. I was like, hey, do you have this shape? And they were like, no, but Carolina Game Table does. I was like, oh, you're awesome. If I wasn't already going to buy a table, I would have bought it from you. But yeah, so we ordered the table. I ordered it October 30th. Paid, and November 1st got a response saying, thank you very much. We received payment. Your table will be ready end of February, beginning of March.
Yeah.
And that was a tough
wait. And it's not because it's unreasonable.
No,
right? It's
no.
not like they stock finished tables.
Yeah, so Carolina Games actually has the model and the design and all of that,
Yep.
and what they have, and they actually subcontract an actual location that just does manufacturing of woodworking and like cabinets and stuff like that. And so they work with them to actually build the tables. And so the thing that was rough is because I don't know if it's on the website or what, but I wasn't expecting such a long time. And so it was just like when you find out, it's like, all right, here is $2,000. See you in a week. And then they're like, cool. See you in like 4 months. And it's like, oh no. God. So that's something. If you want to buy a table, I want you to be aware that
This isn't a spontaneous thing that's going to immediately change your gaming experience.
Yeah.
You're going to like a Kickstarter, forget that you bought it and then it's going to show up at your door.
I did not.
No, no, of course we didn't. Every time we sat down to record a show or to do a live stream, we'd be like, can't wait for the new table.
Yeah. So much so that I've had multiple friends go, I know, you're getting a table. I get it. And I was like, shut up. No, so that's something I think everyone should be aware of.
Absolutely.
Also be aware that there is additional costs after their initial purchase, which is shipping.
Yes. It's a large, heavy thing.
Yeah, it's a large, heavy thing. Carolina Game offer a couple of different options. They can go with a shipper, which will just take it to your location, drop it off, and be done with it.
Right.
But then they also have a white glove service where they will drive it to your location, build it for you, inspect it on delivery, and either repair or fix and whatever the deal is.
Yep.
A little bit more money. And after building it, not the worst thing in the world to offer, because while it is only 4 legs, I don't know if it was just the tool was the wrong size or what the deal was.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit harder for us to build than it should have.
Yeah.
And we build things for a living, or at least we have in the past, It was just like, why is this not working the way it feels like it should? But it got built fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Even though.
Yeah, it's not like it was like a multi-hour process.
No,
we were done in like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
or something.
and I mean, even though
it helps that there's 3 of us here.
Yes.
So it's a lot of heavy pieces. If you're going to do it, let me rephrase that. Don't try to build it by yourself. Like, get friends. If you decide that you're not going to go with the white glove thing where they come and do it for you, get friends to help you.
Yes, because it's like 190 pounds or something like that for like the table in itself. So it's like, you have to have someone holding it in place while someone puts legs on. And then you can't just like, okay, well, now that I've got 2 legs on, I'm gonna let it rest on it. You're like, no. You gotta hold it so that not all the weight is being
on the one leg.
Yeah.
And then how are you gonna flip it over without another person? Like there's a lot of, you need more people.
Yeah, exactly. So having 3 people made it way easier.
Yep.
You get to choose your finish on the table as well as the color of the felt on the playmat area. What's also really great about it is they do have a double sectional that comes on top of it.
Yeah, they're called leaves.
Yeah. I thought the leaves were the thing that would go in between.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember. Indigo, look it up. But either way, they have something that sits on top, makes the table an actual usable space outside of gaming.
Yep.
So I actually sent a bunch of questions off to Caroline Games and like asked them, hey, you know, how long have you guys been around? They started back in 2015. And they actually were talking about like, oh, you know, it'd be really nice to have a gaming table, but you know, we don't have, you know, the space to have an entire gaming room, and they're like, well, why don't we just build this other thing? And Clint was like, Clint is one of the people that started the company, was like, oh, well, you know, with my woodworking history and stuff like that, here's the design, this is how we can do it.
Yep.
So they kind of came up with the designs and figured it out, and they've been up and running ever since.
Yeah.
And it's a very small company. Like, they're 5 people, that's it. That's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot of people working there. They are very responsive for the most part, I would say. Like, you know, outside of like weekends and stuff like that, like you get a response within a day. It would be nice to get shots of the table as it's being built and knowing where it is in the process.
Yeah, because it's like the perception of progress sometimes feels better than actual progress, which is something that I've been told throughout my life by everybody that I've ever worked for. And it's kind of, it seems easy, right? Just to kind of implement something like that, especially if you're doing like large-scale purchases for a small niche quantity of customers. And it's something that's really common in like the computer building industry. And then they seem to pull it off just fine. I don't know. I think it's something that they should look into. If that's something that they can do, they don't have to be like super high res, like 4K.
No, dude, I would okay with a cell phone shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it would be really, really nice to be like, oh my, and like at that point,
with the like machines in the background, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because at that point, like, I was excited for the table, but then it was like pestering people about, like, it's really hard to be like, here's the concept of what we're going to be doing. But like having a photo even once a month of being like, oh, I got a new shot of the table, this is where we are. Like, this is how, oh, look at.
It might help with the excruciatingly long wait.
Yeah, it would help with the wait, and it would also help with just the anxiety as someone that has handed over a company that they've never worked with before a large sum of money. Because that's the other thing, is like you're sitting there and you're just like, cool. So like, you're working on this, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't know. I mean,
and they were like, I don't.
Oh yeah, they were. Clearly, we have it.
If like, I'd say if you're watching this video, I'd say you can trust them. Like, yeah, feel anxious and like be excited to get the product, but I don't think they're the kind of people that'll be like, hey, we're gonna take your money and run. But I get where people would come from if they thought that in this situation, having not heard like a success story sort of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, there are a bunch of reviews on them. They've gotten like a ton of positive reviews.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't seen a negative review.
Yeah.
I mean, the product itself is exquisite.
Yeah.
So we got the streaming table. We got a dark finish with a light, like a lighter blue felt, and we sprung for the cup holders because we're streaming. And
for a long time.
Like, people have drinks, and it would be a really bad idea to just have a cup out there and just dink, you know? The cup holders actually can come out so that they can be cleaned.
We for a while used one of the holes for the cup holders as a routing thing for cables. So if that's something that's important to you, like you could do that.
Yeah, and then they have 4 spots on the table.
Which actually are 4 poles
Yeah.
for cameras. We don't use them because we have another solution that we set up that makes more sense in our context, but like they would work if that's something that you wanted to approach. It's basically designed so that you can get a cross shot of other people, or the people on the opposite side of the table. And then like maybe some of them could be used to get a shot of the stuff in the middle, but we, again, have another solution for that as well. And the reason I think primarily that we don't want to use it is because we are a rambunctious group.
Yeah.
And so we don't want people to like boom and like knock over a camera or like.
Because the worst thing that would happen is having to refocus a camera in midstream and like,
Yeah.
oh, hold on a second, let me just.
Excuse us while the people that are performing do technical things.
Yeah, or have a person that's behind the screen coming
bumping into people
Yeah,
and
like,
making a ton of noise.
Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
Farting.
But at the end of the day, this table is a very hardy, it's very durable. It's a great table.
You hit it, just collapse.
No, this table's great. I really enjoy the
Yeah,
table.
same.
The only negative I have on the table.
Yeah.
So right here is their logo and on a nice metal frame here. And it's right where the DM sits. And so that's a little
Presumptuous.
Yeah. So when we stream, we try to get that out of frame. I understand that they want to brand it, but maybe like over here or like someplace that's probably not going to be right in the middle of the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of my only like negative for the table. I mean, we're talking about them. It's already branding. So
I also can't see it from here, so.
So that was my only negative on
Yeah.
the table. Other than that, if you want a table and you're looking for a table, I 110% recommend them.
Yeah, absolutely. The product is great. The product is awesome. They're very communicative, and I think those are like the two most important things. They walk you through the process well, and at the end of the process, you have the thing you want. None of this was surprising for me. This is what I read about, and it's chill. It works well.
I actually talked to Jody over there and asked a bunch of questions about the company, how long they've been around, like all of that. And she gave a lot more response than I was expecting. So I've actually taken that and it's actually on our site. It's on the show notes for this. So if you want to go down in the description, click on that and you can see more about the company and more about the history so that you know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to know more about the
It's a
company.
good point
that
of
you made.
research. It's like kind of from the horse's mouth. So.
Exactly. Well, that's about it. So head down in the comments and, write something so that, this video gets shown more, because that's really all that.
We're just going to be blunt about it
Yeah.
this time. Doesn't really matter what you say, just say some stuff.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you haven't already, and then head over to Twitter and talk to me there. Talk to me at IndigoQT.
And you can talk to me on Twitter at QueueTimes, and you can talk to both of us at the same time at all these doobly doos down doobly 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 doobly